I am David Coburn, Member of the European Parliament, proud Eurosceptic and staunch British Unionist. In this weekly update of Current Affairs according to Coburn, I want to come back to you on the interview I gave to the Daily Express, that great British newspaper. Jean-Claude Juncker, as leader of the European Commission, and the French Brexit negotiator Michel Barnier were branding the UK's Brexit proposals as not satisfactory. Michel Barnier and Jean-Claude Juncker are both highly paid civil servants. It is not their place to criticise Britain or the British people for taking a democratic decision to leave the EU. It is the job of Barnier and Juncker to facilitate this democratic decision we made in June 2016, whether they like it or not. With all due respect, Juncker and Barnier have forgotten their place. Regarding Ireland, the EU needs to stop using Ireland as an excuse to disrupt Brexit. The EU does not need to stick its nose into internal, private British-Irish affairs. We will have a soft border between Northern Ireland and the Irish Republic after Brexit. A soft border which will be dealt with by the Irish and British authorities. We do not need the EU to tell Ireland and the United Kingdom how to solve our own problems. Thank you very much. Meantime, people like Eurofanatic Guy Verhofstadt keeps on telling us that the United Kingdom needs to pay up to £100 billion Brexit bill. This is ridiculous. We owe the EU nothing after Brexit, and after it has taken place in 2019. There is no legal basis whatsoever for a financial settlement bill of 5, 50, 100 billion, or whatever Guy Verhofstadt happens to think that particular week. Guy Verhofstadt admitted this week in the European Parliament that this is true, that this Brexit bill is not in Article 50, nor is it in the Lisbon Treaty. It is only in a position paper from the unelected European Commission. The Brexit negotiators apparently agree more or less on this as a starting point for further negotiations. Even David Davis has gone along with this, and he's our principal negotiator. And he said that we have a moral and political obligation towards the EU. This is nonsense. But it shows that Theresa May and her Conservative government are doing an appalling job and are betraying us. We cannot trust this government. That is why UKIP is needed more than ever. Some interesting other news. The vote on the annual EU budget in the Economic Committee and Monetary Affairs Committee was postponed again. It will come again on the Econ agenda for the 25th of September. This is becoming very interesting. Last week, I already told you that the ECR group in the Parliament, with the Tories being part of it, were in favour of voting a paragraph that quoted the costs of moving the European Banking Authority from London to the EU should be borne by the United Kingdom. This week, after UKIP had been nosing about and making a lot of noise in the press, they added one crucial sentence to that paragraph, namely that the Commission should have prepared the necessary financial allocations in the eventuality that the EU and not the United Kingdom would have to bear the implied costs of moving the agencies. Fascinating how quickly things change, isn't it, in the Brexit process when UKIP are there to prod the Tories. Next week, we'll have a new video update. We are then in Strasbourg for the plenary session. Wishing you all a nice weekend. Goodbye from Brussels.